Okay. Discussion and possible action to approve minutes of the October 24th, 2023 regular meeting.
So moved to approve the minutes of the October 24th meeting.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Okay, call for the vote.
Lamar,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Miller.
Yes. And petitions from the audience? There are none. Okay, buddy, it's all you, man. Get the report.
Well, I'm not gonna go back to wintertime unless you want unless you want everything with that, but it went by pretty good.
You should have a lot to report between October and now, since we hadn't had a meeting.
Well, I mean, of course, to start off with, I don't know if y'all seen it on Facebook, I know that Jay posted, she had to do an update for me, we was gonna do the South Adair for the fill in for the mud things. Well, when the weather's turned south, I don't really like doing it myself, but I checked around with several asphalt plants, people does asphalt, and they said usually if the ground's 40 degrees and up, it's usually pretty well good to go. But, we don't know, tomorrow's supposed to be, they're talking, 20 degrees, and now it was gonna be 30, now they're talking about maybe 40 for Thursday. So the only bad part about that, if you get asphalt, and they're bringing it all the way from Sand Springs, so when you get that, you're gonna get cold spots on top of the asphalt coming over, and when those fall down in there, if you don't get them mixed in, it just leaves the asphalt looking bad. But we are gonna do that Monday. They're supposed to come back, they're supposed to be back up, mid-60s, 70 degrees. Ditches, we dipped, over on Pine Street, Oakwood Road, which that's a new thing. I didn't realize that Oakwood Road on the west side of the road, I guess, is actually city limits now. And, then over off of, North Whitaker, and the ditches over on Southwest Maple, over by the softball field. It's about 1,600 foot of ditches that we've dipped here lately. We've got some street repair going over on Spruce Court. That's a cul-de-sac over there right off of, South Van off of Magnolia. I think it's the 2nd Street down in through there. We've done some sawing, got some of the sections sawed out. We've made one pour. We're gonna pour another pour Friday. One of the things that's on the list, I guess, but that's Graham Avenue. We got that fixed up here by the Priority Bank. And we first thought we had to shut the water off. We first thought there was a water leak, and there could be something up underneath there, it's just not showing, but it may have just been a lot of groundwater in there. But anyway, we got that all milled up. Got asphalt on that. Northwest 5th Street. One time I talked with the contractor, I was gonna have them mill 25, 40 feet, something back off of there.
Yep.
But they never did give me a price or anything on it, so I just told them we just do it ourselves. So we went down, it was last week, and we just had enough cones, we could shut that highway down. So that was,
Which one's that?
they're at Northwest 5th and 69 Highway.
Okay.
So we
There
did.
at the railroad.
We did get that one asphalted.
Super.
When did you do that one?
Probably Wednesday or Thursday last week, I think it was.
Okay.
And that was another thing, with it being cold weather, they wasn't making any asphalt. So we're kinda at the mercy of that there, but once it warms up, he gets more orders in where he can, and he usually calls me, that's what he called me up and said, hey, I'm gonna make some asphalt, y'all need some, so. We redone a drainage pipe there on, Southeast 8th and Adair. We had a pipe down through there, it was developing a hole in the road, so we got the checking in through there, and that pipe had rusted out. So we replaced that one, and we repaved that with asphalt over the top of that. We've done some mud repairs, one's over on Magnolia, there's a sidewalk over there, a section that we've done for them. North Adair, there was parking in front of Carl's Flooring where it used to be, we fixed it, we done that one, that was concrete. Court Place, they had a couple places sidewalk. And then over across into the county parking over there, we repaired that one. They had a drive entry out there on Summerfield Place. And then on South Van, there was a section of sidewalk over there that they had to go through and do. So, we repaired that. The sweeper, we finally got all the correct parts for that. So we started putting everything together. Well, and come to find out, the fan cover, that when it eat through on that, we had two, fuel lines that set back behind there.
Oh,
Well, we didn't realize it, but we was taking them apart to move them out when we was putting this back in. Well, half of the line, it was eat half in two
wow.
down. So you put any pressure on it, it was gonna blow. So we've got two of those lines ordered, so now we're waiting for them to come in. Potholes, I mean, we just been doing that for people that calls in. As needed, we're gonna try to get around when they start making more asphalt this year. A lot of our holes that we have that, we're gonna go start milling them out. And I talked with Jesse out there at the asphalt plant. He told us that, if we just need 1 ton or 2 tons, so we're gonna go around and start milling some of these, potholes out instead of just doing it, and then we're gonna mill them down probably 4 or 5 inches and fill them back with asphalt, so they shouldn't be a pothole anymore. So we got there like on Rose Street there in front of the bank, in front of the eye doctor, there next door. It's all, when they cut that down in the parking lot, I mean, they pretty well tore up the asphalt, which is getting aged anyway.
Van Street where it deads into Third Street's a really bad one. It needs to be milled and all replaced right there in that T of the intersection.
Where's that?
Van Street South where it intersects with Third. In front of Carolyn Brown's house there. I'll talk to you about it.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I'm trying to picture it. Yeah, on stuff like that, I mean, if you'll just send me an email or something, or a text or whatever on those addresses, that's, and also, like I said, I talked with the mayor on a little bit here a while ago. I didn't realize it, but here, according to, the governor back in 2013, there was, sections, I was gonna make y'all a copy and I forgot to make them, but I can give you all this here if y'all wanna make a copy of it, but, there's a lot of responsibilities that's been put back up onto the city that I didn't realize that was our duties. I guess it was. There's just a little short reading here, and then I'll be done. It says maintenance responsibilities. This is back in 9 of 13. It says within a municipality, the department, of course, now the department, I'm assuming that they're talking about their self, the department. So, shall maintain the roadway pavement and pavement structure only. The department may pay the cost of construction or reconstruction of drainage systems, curbs, sidewalks, and driveways when necessary to construct or reconstruct an existing highway within a municipality. The department shall not perform maintenance on or pay the cost of accident or spill cleanup, sweeping, mowing of the right-of-ways, drainage systems, and facilities including inlets, curbs, sidewalks, driveways, electronic traffic control devices, or highway system lights. All this time I didn't, because I went out and asked them here the other day, because those trees needs to be trimmed out there on South 69 out there, and I went out there and asked them to see if they was gonna do it, and they said no, that was, if we wanted it done, we would have to do it. Nobody's ever told me that was ours. I figured it's a, state highway right away. They're the ones, all this, and, of course I know the railroad, they're not gonna do it because they talked, when last time I talked to them, they said they like it thick like that because it blocks the noise, but anyway, I mean, I'm just saying that by doing this here now, that's added on to a lot more maintenance that we're gonna have to perform, but, nothing else. What I thought about doing on some of them there, I mean, for blocking the highways off, I mean, there's certain restrictions and regulations that you have to go by for setting signs and cones and all this stuff up. So I thought about every time that we do a street project, we just may add some of these things along that highway, because most of the time when a contractor comes in, they hire a private contractor to come in like, advance warning. They know all the rules and regulations for blocking highways off and things like that. So that's when I'm kind of looking at some of those. But other than that, I mean, the other odds and ends and stuff that we've done, I mean, that's not really reporting on them, but I mean, just our everyday stuff that we're doing, so.
Sure, super.
But other than that, I mean, staying busy, warmer weather means more things, so.
Yep. All right. Thank you, buddy. Now we got, update on the alley project.
I had a list of projects to go over, so if it's okay.
Sure.
Put a little list together, where we are,
Good.
and future projects and some other things. So, as far as the active projects we're working on right now in the streets is we're doing a traffic study right there at Ninth and Elliott, okay? I spoke with the traffic engineer today, and they're still collecting information. They're trying to figure out what's gonna happen with the football field and what that's gonna put on there. So he's out there, he's actually doing the work, and we should know something, within 30 days of what his results are. Okay. Also on my list was Bailey Street and drainage improvements. That's over there by the hospital itself. And I think it's a regional detention pond is what we're gonna be looking at, but we're waiting on the tax sale to go through to get that. I don't know if that's done or not.
We got the bids.
Oh, you did?
We got the bids. The bids came back. We have our bid winners.
Okay.
We're gonna have them take out that house and all the trees in that whole area.
Okay.
We're gonna let for Bailey. I'm gonna go over and tell him on my way home from here, if he wants to keep that portion of the fence that's up there, that he's kind of tagged into, he needs to have it disconnected from the rest of it before we start
Tearing it
or he
apart.
loses his fence. I think there's no loss in it, we're in demo anyway, so let him have the fence, but that's gonna all be, the bid was to clear it all out, except for the trees around the outside, so.
Good.
I think
So the awarding of the bid will be on Tuesday night's council meeting?
Yeah, and, the lowest one was about, I think it was like 5 somewhere for taking out the house and not just the house, but cleaning that whole lot up. So.
Good.
it should be-
Good.
The highest one was like 15.
Wow.
So we're about ready to start the design of the detention pond and all of that.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
start that after we get it all cleared out.
After we get cleared, because we'll have to go in there and get a survey and get a topo and everything else, so it's good news. Okay, projects that are in construction, or have been completed just here lately, the first project there is the alleys, okay? That contractor is pretty much done. We're having him to do a little bit more patchwork, and we've got him over on Adair, fixing the utility strip there, with the asphalt. He's got a little bit of work to do at Park Place to get that to draining properly. The curb is, or the gutter's real bad, so we're gonna have to put some asphalt in there to get it to drain out, and, we'll be probably calling the final on that one probably within a week or two.
Which one is that one?
That's PRY 2301, 2023 street rehab, phase 1.
Yeah.
The alleys.
The alleys.
Alleys.
Well, they look good.
Well, there's some of them that aren't even done yet. They've milled them, but they haven't overlaid them.
Overlay wasn't part of this project. All we were doing was milling it.
Well, they're pretty rough.
Oh, they're in bad
So
shape.
so we're not doing it right.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, buddy, but my understanding was we was gonna mill it and see what we had, and then decide what we needed to do with them after that they were milled, is what Steve had told me the discussions were on the alleys. Because my understanding is we want to change the flow going through the alley from going to the outside to the center. Is that right, buddy?
Well,
I thought we were overlaying.
well, yeah, cause there's.
That's
some
what
alleys
we've
that
talked about in meetings.
That we've got concrete sticking up that high. I mean, if Steve said that we was only just gonna mill them and not overlay them, then I guess there was a misinterpretation or something, because that's what I thought that they was going to do. They was coming back Monday to overlay, because they've got a big utility cut there in that first alley, back to the south there, as you come down South A there, that alley to the west. There was a big utility cut out there that they were supposed to come back and dig that out, put asphalt in before they done their overlay. I mean.
They did asphalt on some of them and overlaid them, and some of them aren't.
Some of the alleys weren't running north and south, they did, but
Yeah.
the ones that's running east and west, the plan that, since I started this, was only to mill those alleys.
So all that money we put out for this is just to do it half-ass.
Don't look at me. I understood we were, we'll look at it and see.
Sure.
We'll double check it.
And the alley that's between First and Second Street, going north and south behind Arvest Bank and Hook's Convenience Store, down to Carl's, that alley there,
Down the south.
yeah, from First Street to Second. That one hasn't even been dug out with all the bad soft spots. It was one of the worst ones in town. They've just left it and haven't even touched it.
I'll go back and look at the plans, but my understanding is they are complete with what the plans had them to do. Okay, what the project that they did.
Was
I
all
guess-
this coordinated with your previous
Yes.
person?
The plans were actually done before Steve left. Okay, and,
Were they his plans?
he's the one that started them. I finished them up. And this was my understanding what the project was.
Yeah, I understood he was gonna overlay everything. All the alleys, that's, I mean, doing that. we're-
Buddy, was this not in any of the paperwork that you saw when we agreed to the contract or anything?
Well, I mean, again, that was my understanding, because we was gonna have to come in and mill them off, because, I mean, also being rough. I mean,
Right. They were gonna mill them and overlay them.
Yeah, I mean, that was my understanding when I talked to Steve, because I told him, I said, some of the asphalt, I said, back in the day when, you can even tell some of the streets now that they come back, that the drainage, they had it going towards the center, and that we was gonna have to raise them up, because some of those intersections that we done, we had to raise them up a little bit. I just say we're gonna have to look at the plans and go back over and make sure, because, I mean, again, I thought they were supposed to be overlaid, that's why I thought they was coming back, Monday to do. I mean,
The only thing they're going to be doing Monday is that utility strip going down eight there and fixing Park Place.
Park Place.
Park Place where the gutters are.
Oh, Third Place?
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Yeah, northeast Third Place.
Third place.
Cause I know I brought it up multiple times in the meetings that one of the worst ones is that north-south one behind Arvest Bank. And the roadbed's gone where you turn to go into the convenience store there. And that's one of the worst ones there is. It needs to be all completely rebuilt. The roadbed right there.
We could actually talk to the contractor and put a change order in to have him to do it if that's what we want to do. But I'll have to give him a set of plans on what we want him to do. Cause right now the plans are just to mill it.
Well, on the bright side, at least he didn't put a 6-inch curb across it yet, yeah, that's better, like he did the park.
So what do you think, Mr. Chair?
Somehow we got on two different roads, didn't we?
Looks like there was some misunderstanding there, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dale, can you find it fast?
I'm glad that's unsad.
Wow.
I don't like this at all.
Right here on the plans, it talks about just some potholes that are gonna be repaired, but it is only to mill the alleyways, is all the plans outline. Now, I can go back and I can calculate how much more tonnage it would be to put a 2-inch overlay and let the committee know. Okay?
Sure.
That's not a problem at all.
Sure.
And I'm sure Dunham would be thrilled to do it.
Sure.
Okay? But it's just whatever the committee wants us to do.
What about the alley that I talked about along, behind Hook's store in Arvest. I mean, did you go there and look at that one at all?
I don't recall it. I did drive
'Cause
out
like I
the
said,
project.
there's semi trucks that drive on that one, and where they turn to go into the convenience store.
Push it out.
Yeah, and it's just
Yeah, it
gone
sounded
right
to me
there.
we probably ought to put concrete there if we got semi trucks that are turning in there, so. But I wrote her down and I'm gonna go look at it as soon as we get
Okay.
out of this, okay? It is the prices that we do have are unit bid prices.
Sure.
So it's not that difficult to increase his contract by a certain tonnage,
Right.
okay? So, and the same thing with patchwork, you know, we can do that also.
Okay.
And Dunham has done a pretty good job for us.
Oh, the ones that were asphalted looked really good. I rode up and down a couple of them, going north and south.
Yeah. Third place we did mill and overlay, yes.
But some of that's gonna have to be redone, right?
Around the curbs,
Yeah.
there's some driveways there that are holding water because of curbs. You know, we were hoping we could mill it and get enough to get it out, but the curbs have got such a valley in them.
Oh,
We're gonna have to put more asphalt back in there.
okay,
And the contractor's already agreed to come back and do it.
okay.
So how many of the alleys were milled but not overlaid, approximately, if you recall?
So far, it looks like two.
The one right here by City Hall, going all the way west,
Both of the alleys between Van and Adair, and then, well, no, I'm sorry, Van and Adair, and then North Adair and Mill Street. And the one that goes from, on the other side of the Grand Community Building, so.
and on straight east to here.
It's a bird's eye view, and they're all ABC alleys, so let me show you, it's easier. Alright. So, come on over, Bruce. Alright, so what we're looking at here, mill only. So we've got, here's 69, here's North Adair. This looks like the Graham Building here.
Well, when these were reviewed, doesn't somebody look at it and say, well, no, that just doesn't look right? They mill it, but we're not gonna overlay it before these are all approved by the city to accept it.
Sure. And then this one is North Adair to North Van.
Kinda?
So the alley outside your window, not gonna be overlaid?
Apparently not.
Not this go around. Like I said, my understanding was that was the next step.
And then this is the only other one here. This one had, this is right out here. Where they did the concrete base repair.
And then where's the north-south alleys behind, that I'm talking about, and down towards the donut shop, which I know the donut shop's done.
Yeah.
And I think behind Thomas's is done.
Yeah.
Keep going?
Yeah. Yeah, so here's mill and overlay. This is Southeast Third.
Okay, what am I looking at here? This is Thomas's?
Yes, this is Thomas.
So this is the alley behind there.
It's the old
Kind of
Bronx.
personnel.
Okay, so
There's a little bit of base repair here.
Yeah.
Behind old Bronx.
mill and overlay, so that one's done. And what is this one?
This is the America's Best, this continues here.
Going north,
So here's,
Carl's Jr.
yes, thank you. Carl's Jr.
This is the bad alley that I'm talking about.
And there's second one this week.
Well, no, that says Second Street, so it's back, oh, the map's turned upside.
Yeah.
Arvest Bank is First Street.
So that would be Arvest right here.
So where's Hooks? Where's the motel at? At Carly?
We're going up behind Crafty Tiger here.
Okay, I'm talking about behind Hooks and Arvest Bank. North, continuing on from Thomas's.
Here is
So north, looks like north is this way?
right here. So here's Thomas's.
Okay. So, well, Thomas's isn't at First Street, so that can't be Thomas's. It's at Third Street. I don't know what that is. The big parking lot. Unless that's sand.
Oh, there you go. That's over.
There's First Street, Second Street, Third Street. Looks like we're Alley L and Alley J. Is that where you're talking about? Where's the, here's 669 Highway right
Yeah,
here.
so they're at Third, right here, they'll be right here, right? Right off of 69, right here.
Well, Adair Street,
This is Graham, this is 69, yeah, here's 69, so they gotta be,
so this,
This
where's
is
the
the-
alley at? This right here then?
yeah. Behind them, yeah.
So it's Alley
So
L.
69 and First Street intersection. Is 69, is this First something
This
Avenue?
is Graham here.
Okay, so First Street, okay, 69 and First Street. So it should be this, is this the black, the alleys?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
I-
gonna be
I and H.
I and
South-
H.
South I and H. Here's H, here's H right here, no N, sorry. L. Okay, J, here's I right here.
And we didn't do anything with this. We just did some repair out there and there. and some
Okay, where
surface
is
repair.
this though? What is this
This
we're
is
looking
Carl's
at?
Jr. That's the best, America's Best Inn. Cause there's these little storage containers.
Yeah.
Okay, so
This is
this is the one that's really, really bad, where the semi trucks are turning in here.
Okay,
And that's showing for
Patrick.
concrete,
the patch, yes.
and they haven't done anything to that. That hasn't even been cut out yet.
I'll go drive it out.
And then,
Keep going this way.
well, what's this? That nothing's gonna be done to that except that?
That's it.
We had previously,
We were asleep when this happened, or what? I don't.
Here's H, so it picks up right there.
There's I. We got a couple more patchworks there. And we didn't do anything with H.
And that's reflected on the front map, right?
Yes.
So I think this is where, when you guys were discussing it, and we suggested throwing them up on the deal, Larry was here still.
we redid this several times, even after he left, so.
Right, right.
So,
So,
Yeah, we've got some Main Street money in on it to do it. That's, I don't know if that's the part we're talking about.
no, not Main Street, EDTA money,
Okay.
not
all right,
having anything to do with Main Street.
all right.
right, and that's not, to my understanding, that's not been applied yet, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so my question is, who from the city agreed and signed this off that this is?
This
the
was
final
signed
deal?
off by me and you and Buddy and
It was.
a whole table full of people.
I presented it to
Well, yeah, and I told everybody I'm impressed with that map, but see, that map to me is showing the whole thing's gonna be done, just by looking at that.
Well, if you look at I, okay, you can come over here and look at I, and I understand where the confusion is, okay? But if you look at I, where's I at? And, where's it right there? Man, I ain't got my glasses on. But J just talks about mill and asphalt, so that was a mill, and overlay J was I. It just talks about a mill and about eight tons of asphalt to fix the patches.
So,
Let me ask you this, is this a problem that we overlooked, or is this an engineering problem?
Well, it was our understanding this is what was, what we were directed to do.
And you looked it all over and said,
Well, yeah, when me,
I'd less
when me and Steve, 'cause like I said, when we went and walked them all out, you know, that's what we was looking down through there, you know, said, well, what we can do is mill that, then overlay and come back, that's why we
I know you talked about that, 'cause I
concreted
remember.
those ends,
Yeah.
so that water would run out. And he said, well, yeah, we can do this here, and so to the best of my knowledge, I mean, again, we talked about overlaying, because that's, when we milled that one off there where all the manholes and stuff is there on, I think it's on South Adair, going back east off of Adair, because they've got that concrete and stuff that's raised up where those manholes and stuff was, and people was asking me, I said, yeah, we're coming back and overlaying those over, because that's, so I mean,
Well, let's back up. Are we getting charged for anything that wasn't done?
no,
Okay, so all we need to do is make sure this time that the rest of them are finished like we wanted them in the first place.
And we can go
That-
change order
correct
that
that.
in if that's what,
we didn't
The city
get
wants us to
charged
do.
for work that was, we're not paying for something that they didn't do.
That's what I was asking, because I didn't know.
No, we're paying for what was done, and that,
well, we can't just leave it like it is.
No, I know it. We have to correct it, I think.
right. So we'll go forward, we'll look at it, see where we're at, see what we gotta do.
Absolutely, I'll go back and.
But those extra tasks are not reflected in what we paid, so.
Not currently, no.
Right.
But it's, like I said before, it's a unit bid price,
Sure.
so if we go back in and overlay, you know, we already got a per ton price.
Right.
So however many tons it takes to finish up the alleyways, then, you know, you would have to pay for it then or now.
If that's the case, I guess we need to figure out how to do that then. We can't leave them like
But,
they are.
you know, on me, it's disturbing on my part that we didn't do what the city wanted us to do. And I just gotta make sure we got things in place, make sure that doesn't happen again.
Sure.
Now, again, in the alley that I'm talking, the one that I keep harping on is that really bad spot. Now, they did do nice concrete aprons on the end, but it even shows in that plan they're supposed to, but,
And we can go back in and take a look at that and see what we need to do. Like I said, the old contract is a unit price contract. If I get out there with Buddy and we need to put 50 feet of concrete in, we got the price to do that.
What do you think, Travis?
Yep, we definitely, on these ones right here, get updated change order price. And then I guess the next question would be,
Make sure we get all of them.
make sure we have the money to do it too.
that's the thing, where's the funds for that? I mean, if we have, with the EDTA, I mean, if we haven't received anything from them, I mean, we'd have to use something for that.
well, when is that money gonna be transferred and why hasn't it been? Even
That's
Adam
not
keeps
mine.
asking me when it's
I
gonna
don't
be
do
done.
money transfers, that's not me, so.
Well,
We've talked
it's-
about, you gotta let me answer. We've talked about it with Courtney, she's looking into where it's at, how to transfer it. She's
Sure.
had that discussion with Jeff, so
Okay,
that was had last week. And again, I remind her every week, hey, has it been done? No, we need to get on it. That's not anything I have the ability to do myself. I don't have access to that. I can just tell her to get it done.
Right.
So,
The Economic Village Trust Authority was giving us $150,000 to add to it to do the downtown, towards the downtown alleys
Okay.
right.
and doing them they were led to believe that they were gonna be all done.
And they did ask too in their meeting last week where that, if that had been transferred. So again, we discussed that again. Everybody's aware that it still needs to be transferred over. So
Now, was that in the original budget, or is that gonna be on top of?
that'll be on top of. Because they felt strongly that those alleys directly impacted the economic development of downtown.
Sure.
Zach, is it Courtney's problem it hadn't been transferred or somebody else's problem?
I think it was finding the actual minutes of where that was done, because it was kind of a,
For authority,
what's that?
for authority to change.
Well, yeah, we need to make sure that she was trying to make sure that the minutes matched up with the request.
Right.
And there was a little bit of a hard time finding those minutes because the way it was worded. So we now know she's got that, now it's just getting it done.
Sure.
And so, if you look at the timing, they're just the last couple of weeks been trying to wrap up the last month's numbers, so that's not
But we voted on this months ago to transfer that money.
when the project was ready. And so, the project wasn't completed, so it wasn't one of those things where it was get it done today. So it can be done, it's not something to pull our hair out over.
Okay.
Not to be transferred.
Okay. Super.
Will it have to go through council again?
No. No, it's already been through.
The transfer, but this additional work?
Now, that'll be another story.
Right.
No.
Have to change orders.
Change orders, so that's gonna have to have
Right.
some paperwork and things
Right.
like that to go through.
Right,
That's
right.
the process. You know, we would hope that everybody learned their lesson with the, money pit across the street. Those change orders that were done, so,
Sure.
yeah, there's a process, we'll get those forms done.
Yep.
Things like that, so.
But that will have to come before council.
Yes. Okay.
Well, sounds like we can correct it then.
Yeah.
It's gonna cost more money.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
No, I think it would've cost.
it may not, if he's
I
what
don't-
he's saying, he's
I
saying,
think as we look at that bid, we can say, yeah, it's gonna cost us more money, but as we look at that bid price did not include that work.
Right, so,
We just didn't bid that. I mean,
Okay.
the task was gonna cost us an amount, but even if prices have gone up now, we've still got that locked in price.
Right.
When that was bid, so.
right,
So, no, I'll talk to the contractor about that. He didn't have to accept the change orders.
sure,
I don't think there's an issue.
good, okay. All right,
All right.
Salt Branch,
That's the first project under construction. Second project there is Salt Branch Phase 2. Okay, that's, I'm sorry. That one there, we got the bonds and insurance from the contractor. The only thing we're waiting on now is for me to schedule the pre-con, and I'll probably do that either this week or next week. I've been talking to the contractor, and he's gonna be ready to start that in about a week and a half.
super,
So,
And that's the project west of 69 to
to clean out the.
Maple and Fifth Street tributary, yeah.
I grabbed this one too while I was making. So, just looking at the cover there, here's Elliott where it comes around. It's gonna be on this side of 69 through the, now the Larimore property. And we've got, right there, so there's the highway, there's, Maple Street. We were waiting on property sale, we were waiting on easements.
Yeah.
And the easements couldn't be given till the property transfer took place. and
Sure,
They've
sure.
given us temporary easement with the understanding that it would be a reasonable amount of time. So what we decide 90 days would be more than that.
I don't remember what I gave it in there, but the contractor is local, it's in Vision Civil, I think he
Right.
did some work for y'all last year, or the year
Right.
before. He's doing some work for us in Wagner right now, he seems like a pretty good contractor,
super,
so.
okay,
Next project on the list is Salt Branch. It's a ditch repair there at the Nunleys. Okay, they got one half of it done. It looks pretty good. We're getting ready to jump across the T-horns and do the other one. I've been talking to the contractor there. He suggested maybe some alternate things that we can do along the channel that would bring the cost down.
oh, super,
So I'm working with him on that I wanna make sure it still does what we want it to do.
So in the next phase, on the north side of the asphalt driveway going north, they're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna cut out all that brush, clean up all the brush and put a channel through there.
On the, yes, do you have those plans?
I didn't, but I'll go get them.
Well, it's on the opposite side of
Yeah,
the
it's on the
Kenwas,
opposite
yeah.
side of.
Going to tie in, how far north are they gonna go?
Oh, boy,
They don't go too far.
seemed like it was 200 feet or
Yeah,
so.
it's like 200 feet. So have you been back on that?
Yes, I have. I was in there Saturday.
So when you stand on that little berm that he's got, you know, to come down the hill, you stand on the berm, it's through there, and then it just
It's right there.
wraps right up to the Kernut property.
There's a fence, a steel fence
Yeah, all
that
that
divides
farm, right.
Kernets from that other property. So it's gonna basically go to it probably.
It'll go under that fence, from the driveway under the fence, it'll round the corner where that little berm you stand on is. That's where they'll put, didn't we change that from stone to riprap?
We haven't yet. That's one of the things we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when are they
That's-
supposed to start on that one?
He's just waiting for it to dry
Okay.
up. He said it's just as wet as it can be. He barely got in and got the other side done.
Okay.
He's been bogged down pretty good, so.
We did put, I'm sorry, Joe.
No.
I'm sure we'll get nasty texts from Nina for not being at the microphone. We did add larger culverts and replaced all three.
The contractor, while he was there, we looked, and the two that we were going to leave was, once they got in there and started working, it was in bad shape. So we actually replaced all three versus just the center one.
Sure.
And much larger too, correct?
I don't remember it going larger, okay, cause I think the size was adequate with our bills, so. I think they were collapsed, and that's probably what you think.
Probably.
Yeah. The fourth project on the list is the Phase 2 street rehab project. That project was let, if you remember right, back in September, so that project's done. It did the, Green Country Mobile Home Park, it did the Gaither Road. I think there was 3 or 4 projects on that one. TriStar was the contractor on that, and they did a really good job.
Yep.
I was kinda disappointed in them by not getting back with Buddy on that Fifth and 69, but,
Right.
I guess they had someplace else to go.
Yep.
And then, that's all the jobs that we have in construction right now, and then as I was talking to Steve, as he's walking out the door, he talked about some other projects there. One of them is a 2024 street rehab job. I talked to Buddy, he's already got a list of things, gotta figure out what the budget is, and figured that out. The Fifth Street there, I think Buddy's already talked about that. I went and drove it out. Looks pretty good, Buddy, what you guys did, so. We had talked about overlaying First Street from picking up where they had stopped right up there by the cemetery and taking it out past, the fairgrounds and things out in that direction, so. And then there's a big drainage issue down there at Fairland and 14th and 15th Street, so. But we're not doing anything on any of that right now, but I just wanna make sure it's on the list.
Sure.
Do you foresee Northeast First Street, Old Highway 20 overlay happening in this next
Well,
fiscal year?
I was gonna say.
That's one of the worst things I hear complaints about.
Correct, and especially from those on motorcycles. We had hoped that we had had enough, obviously, we're gonna redirect any excess funds to this other project, get the asphalt done, which, anything extra is cream on top, but I think at the very least, we should consider, some kind of overlay. I know it's a Band-Aid on a pig, but some kind of overlay to smooth that out. If you remember Ninth Street, a year or two ago, when
tried.
Been working on it.
You got Gaither done for me, even when I got home.
But TriStar, we was like 53,000 under their project. So there's still 53,000 left out of that one.
Oh, sweet.
That's the road we took out for the county.
Which they did, and it's completed and looks good.
Second page on the handout is I always like to put the cost of where we are. The only thing is the phase two is an estimate. I do have the bid on it, but I didn't have the engineering and anything. So I'll make sure that that's up to date next time you see this. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. That's a good report.
Outstanding, yeah.
And I apologize for the alley thing, but I'll jump on that first thing tomorrow, and I'll get with Buddy and Zach and
Sure.
see where we are with it.
Okay,
Okay?
super.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Any unforeseen business? Wait till the mayor gets back in here, he might have some unforeseen. Any unforeseen business, Mayor?
No? Not that I can think of.
Okay. Nothing else? Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Call for vote?
Smith,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes.
I guess we're adjourned.